What's going on, runners? I'm Thomas. Welcome back to the run. Thank you guys for tuning into my video once again. I greatly appreciate it. I apologize for being gone so long. I just had to take a mental break and reorganize some things in my life. And to be honest with you, I wasn't really in a space to be making to make good content. Like, I would create videos, but then halfway through it, I would just run out of steam. Things wouldn't make sense. I'd go off track. So I had to refocus, and I wanted to make sure that I brought you guys the best content that I could possibly give you. So I got one of my mics back. I had to, I'm on a budget, so I got my mic minis. So hopefully the audio quality is good. It sounds pretty good. So there's that. It's okay. If you ever feel burnt out, it's okay to take a break. And I'll get to that in the latter half of this video. But before we continue, let me let you know what the series is going to be about. I'm going to create a series highlighting the trucking companies that I work for, because I know if you're like me, you're searching on YouTube to see why Swift or why Knight or why this company. You're looking for a company to go to, whether to start out, jump to for a little while, or whatever. So I'm going to bring you at least highlights from my experiences with specific companies, and you guys can go on from there. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know I've touched a little bit on specific companies. I'm gonna do a little bit more of a deep dive into it, and this is more so for people that are new, and then my other trucking stuff will probably be for a little bit, or be for people that are a little bit more experienced. But either way, everybody can enjoy the content. So here we go. Let's make the case for Swift. All my Swifties out there, my Swifty Blues. All right, so you're looking to go to Swift. Here's what I will tell you. You're gonna look. I don't know what your situation is. I don't know if you have a CDL, but let's say you don't have a CDL. You're gonna go to their website. You're gonna log in, and you're gonna follow the prompts. Really, it's basically that's it. Make sure you have no drug issues, no drinking issues, no DUIs, no nothing. You probably should stop smoking weed for about 6 months, because they do hair tests. So let that stuff clear out of your system and go on from there. My advice to you is get your permit before you go. That cuts a week out of your training at some locations. Swift is the biggest of the mega carriers. They are the largest. They will take anybody if you are breathing and have some common sense about you and no drug issues. They're going to take you. They're going to train you. What I would tell you with any trucking job, with any trucking company, you got to have some sort of competence. You can't just think you're going to get in this truck and drive it like a Honda. Like, it doesn't work like that. So you have to be able to pay attention and listen, because this is where a lot of drivers, they cut their teeth. It's where they earn their stripes at these low-paying mega carriers. And then they move on to bigger jobs. Don't let anybody sway you away from Swift. And this video is going to explain why. Yes, they get a lot of slack because they're the largest. So they're going to be more visual than Humpty Dumpty Trucking Company that only has 12 drivers. So you take that in the perspective. So once you get to Swift, you're going to go to their academy. You're going to go to one of their partner schools. The academy, from what I heard, is great. They have a lot of training there. They have simulators and all this stuff. I went to a partner school. We didn't have that. We were out in the middle of the Fontana sun, cooking and backing for 3 weeks. That's all we were doing. They have their own DMV people, I think, at a lot of their locations. So everything's in-house. Doesn't mean that you're going to pass the test any easier. You just don't got to wait for days to get an appointment at the DMV. So that's good. After that, you're going to go, in the middle of that, you're going to go to orientation. You're going to see everything about Swift. You're going to learn about their pay. You're going to have some video with the Swift people, and it's going to feel, screw all that. You're there to make money. Just listen to what they're saying, take those tests, and get up out of there. It's an English test, and that's it. They're probably going to set you up with your trainer at that time, and then once you get your license, you can be on the road the next day. For you experienced guys, you'll just come with your CDL, go to orientation, and you'll take a skills test. You'll go like on the road with a instructor, then you'll back up somewhere, and then you can go pick your truck and you'll be out of there in a couple of days. Swift is huge. This is why I like them, because they're the biggest. So they have terminals everywhere. Their communication, at least for me, has been good. And I'm a West Coast driver, so I don't go anything past Colorado. Yeah, anything. I don't go any further east than Colorado. That's it. Everything else is west for me. So I don't know how the OTR Swift is or the East Coast Swift is, but I'm a West Coast driver, so this is my experience. I have not had an issue with them when I've had a breakdown, when I've had any payment issues, anything like that. They're pretty quick on that. Because they're so big, they have a little bit more resources and more people pulling for certain things to happen. Now, do they fall short sometimes? Absolutely. But they will have the freight for you. Now, this is key for you guys getting into the industry. You want them to be able to have stable freight. A lot of these mom and pop companies, or a lot of these smaller companies, don't have stable freight. Even right now, Swift is, I'm pretty sure there's the trucking recession, the capacity issue, the little trucking recession that's been going on. It's still kind of going on. But I left Swift and came back. And when I came back, it was hard to get freight in some places. Like when I came in 2021, I could get freight wherever I wanted to go. Now it was a little bit harder. And it's been about a year since I left Swift. So from what I'm seeing in the industry and from what I'm hearing from certain people, it's still a struggle from time to time, but they always have some sort of freight for you. So take that into consideration. You always want to keep running. You don't want to run real hard for a couple of days and then be sitting for another couple of days, because your pay is affected. You get paid every week. So you want to run as many miles as you can in that week. Okay. Also, a reason why you should go to Swift is their equipment is pretty well kept. Now, again, I don't know about the East Coast guys, the South guys. I'm a West Coast guy, and when I see Swift trucks driving with, like, I don't know what you call those arrow skirts on the side, they're missing, or pieces of fender missing, it bothers me, because anytime I had an issue with my truck, yeah, it's gonna suck because I have to shut down for a couple of days to get the thing fixed. But I can go to the shop in Phoenix, call my terminal leader, or my driver leader, and say, hey, I need to get routed to Phoenix because I need something fixed. Call the shop, or orchestrated or coordinated. I got tied up. And then make it happen. Okay. When I see these trucks that aren't doing that, it bothers me, because it's like they have the stuff there for you. The shop may be backed up, but you can get it done. They have big maintenance shops. I love the Phoenix shop. The people at the Phoenix shop, if you're watching this video, or if you know somebody that works at the Phoenix shop, you guys are doing real good work. Same thing with the Drupa Valley shop. I appreciate all of you guys, because you guys keep everything running, but I digress. Their equipment is good. Yeah, you might get a truck that smells like smoke, because some truckers smoke, but they're pretty much in good condition. If you get an older truck and you run it for a little while, you could probably get a little newer truck when that one's time to cycle out of service. So just keep that in mind. There's a lot of trucking companies that pay better, but their equipment's ass. So I'm that type of person that where I want my equipment to look good, because that makes me look good and that makes the company look good. And to me, I think it's like a full circle thing. So that's one thing. The pay isn't the best, depending on where you go. You can always call driver placement. If you feel that you don't want to run the route that you want to run, or run the line of business you want to run, and upgrade. You don't have to stay OTR all 48 if you don't want to. You can go 7 Western or 7 Eastern, or whatever they call it. You can go flatbed. You can go, Swift doesn't have tankers, but you can go intermodal, local, whatever. It's there for you at Swift, which isn't the case for other companies. So Swift specializes in everything. Some companies only specialize in specific things, like Prime. They have a tanker division. Knight, which I'll talk about Knight in another video, they have a port division. We don't have a port. Swift doesn't. Swift has a port-ish division. It's called like Ocean Containers or something like that. I don't know too many people that run them. That's just me. Not saying they don't exist, but I haven't seen them. I've seen a lot of intermodal, like people running the rail yards, but that's it. But anyway, back up. The pay isn't the best, but different lines of business pay different. The longer you're there, you get paid different. If you come in with some experience, your pay is going to be different. If you run reefer instead of dry van, your pay is going to be different. You run flatbed instead of reefer, your pay is going to be different. So everything is different. Now, if you have a hazmat, I'm not sure if Swift runs a lot of hazmat freight. You don't get paid more. I don't even know if they do run hazmat, you will get paid if you have a hazmat, but I don't think they run a lot of hazmat freight. They run a lot of heavy haul freight. That's up in the Pacific Northwest, so that's a lot of the paper and stuff like that. But you have to live in that area. There is no driving. I can live in California and then go anywhere. Like, you have to live up there because, their trailers have more wheels. They're weight restricted. There's a whole lot of things that go into heavy haul. I wanted to do heavy haul too, but I had to move to the Pacific Northwest, which is Oregon, Washington, Northern California. So would I recommend Swift for somebody? Yes, because of the communication, their terminal network, and their training is really good. Like, the mentor that I have was really good. The mentors that I ran into are really good. I know people have bad experiences, and a lot of people don't want to be trainers. To be honest with you, I think they should pay your trainers way more, because a lot of people don't want to be trainers. This is your house. You're in your home. You don't want people in your home. So I get it. But the trainers that I had were very, very good. There's a lot of people with a lot of knowledge and things like that. But it's a company where you start at. Now, if you want to finish there, you can. There are people that are million-mile drivers, multi-million-mile drivers, and that's where they're at. Because that company is not going where Swift isn't going anywhere. And guess what? If you're good to Swift, you can go back. I've been back twice. I've known people that have been back more than twice. You'll leave, find a better job, say that company goes under. You can go back. They want you to come back. My advice to you is to do it for 6 months. Do it for a year. If you go through their academy, you at least got to do it for a year. So do it for a year, get a season under your belt, get summers, winters, rains, snow, all that. Get all that under your belt. That way you could take that experience on somewhere else. Keep your record clean, and don't get in any trouble. I'm telling you, Swift will help you. If you want to get into that lease program, I don't know much about it. That's what I wanted to do, but California obviously does things backwards, and I can't do it. Or I couldn't do it. You'll see a lot of good things with the company. One of the only con that I have with Swift is the pay. That's it, is the pay. And I get it. You start paying drivers too much, you're not going to make no money as a business, whatever. But the pay is the only thing. Just be ready to be away from home, be away from your family, and you'll be okay. But they will work with you. They will work with you. I can't express that enough. Build a good relationship with your driver leader, and everybody at your terminal, because you'll only see them if you're running. You may see them once a month, maybe once every 2 months. You'll talk to them every day, but make sure when you talk to them, it's always positive. Don't just be a complainer. If you can fix a problem, fix a problem. You're a trucker now, so a lot of things you're going to have to handle on your own before it even gets to them. But they're there for you if you need it, no matter what time. So the case for Swift for me is, it's the best place to start. To me, it's the best place to start. There's multiple lines of business. The pay could be better, but the community is strong. And you could throw a rock and hit a Swift person, So that's it for my case for Swift. Here's what I will tell you about burnout. If you feel like you're getting burnt out when you're on this road, when you're traveling, when you're doing whatever, take a minute, take a breath, and start scheduling a couple of day vacation for yourself. If you're on the road and you've been on the road for 2 months, 3 months, you might want to take a couple days off. Just get away from the truck, get out of the truck, and live your life. because burnout is real. Like, I go to work, I come home. I go to work, I come home. I go to work, I come home. I burn myself out. And I'm not as stressed. I'm not super stressed. The job isn't super stressful, and trust me, I'll talk about this job in depth, but it can get on your mind and play. So if you're burnt out, don't drive into burnout. It's like driving a car through the middle of the Nevada desert in the summertime with no oil and no coolant. You are going to break down, and you're going to break down in the worst possible way. Don't be that person. Take your time, take a breath, go relax for a couple of days, get your mind right. And also, one way to defeat burnout is to have a goal. Have a goal that you're trying to reach before you step in this industry, because I've seen a lot of videos of people leaving this industry mad and pissed off because they don't have a goal. They just got in here to make money. You gonna kill yourself like that. So get out, have a goal. That way you, at least the burnout will be delayed because you have something to work for. So with that being said, everybody, I'm out of here. I'm about to go relax. I just got off of work. And yeah, so until we meet again, runners, stay positive, keep the rubber on the road, and I'll see you guys next time.